Lots of confusion over probably the most exciting part of the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, and that is how exactly is the IRS going to figure out this $10,200 of unemployment that's now supposed to be not taxable for 2020. I've got those details coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. So lots of big changes, lots of great things in the new stimulus plan that was passed, signed into law last week. But none bigger, in my opinion, than the change to how they're taxing unemployment in 2020. Lots of confusion about this, and I did a video about these details that we sent to all of our clients at Korhorn Financial Group late last week, and I thought I would do a similar explanation to you guys here, just so you know what's going on, how it works, and then really what next steps you need to take. So let's get into it. First, how's it work? What do we know? So the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan that was just approved allows for up to $10,200 of unemployment to not be taxed on your federal tax return. That's a huge deal. And since so many people collected unemployment last year and so many people were surprised that it's actually taxable, this is a big deal. This is a huge, huge benefit. So up to $10,200 of unemployment income is not taxable on your U.S. federal tax return in 2020. So that's the first thing we know. The second thing we know is, it's for 2020. This is a special one-time deal for tax year 2020. Will they make it the same in 2021, 2022? I have no idea. I don't know. And at this point, I don't think so. But for now, this only applies to 2020, okay? The third thing we know is you've got to be eligible for this. And what's that eligibility? You've got to have income of less than $150,000. How are they defining income? Adjusted gross income. But are they defining it individual, joint, married, filing separately? They haven't come out and clarified that yet. So put that in the we still don't know category. And you might have seen some rumors. As of this point, I'm calling those rumors. I want to see it from the IRS that, hey, this is how we're defining income. But in order to be eligible for up to $10,200 of your unemployment to not be taxable on your federal tax return, you got to have adjusted gross income below $150,000. That's what we know. The last thing that we know is if you already filed your 2020 tax return and you included all of your unemployment as taxable like you were supposed to, you are able to amend. You are able to amend your 2020 tax return and basically remove up to $10,200 of unemployment from your income and get a refund, okay? So you've got 3 years to amend. Lots of people are gonna be rushing towards that door and trying to do so. I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you again in a few minutes, the IRS is not wanting you to amend those returns right now. They are not. They're actually issued a statement over the weekend saying don't send in amendments right now for this, but just know that you can. Don't think that because you already filed, you're now left out of this benefit. No, you can still amend. You've got 3 years to do it to remove, if you're eligible, this $10,200 of unemployment income from your tax return. So that's pretty much what we know, okay? There's a lot, unfortunately, that we don't know, okay? At the top of the list, what we don't know is how soon, how quickly the IRS will update their systems so that they can actually accurately process returns that are filed excluding this much income, okay? I mean, think about all the millions of tax returns that are being filed right now, and all of a sudden, the IRS is just told from their boss, Congress, hey, you've got to make a change to the tax code. And so they're scrambling right now, I'm assuming they are, trying to update their system so that all of these returns that don't include this $10,200 of unemployment income aren't flagged for a notice and that refunds can be issued properly. So our tax professionals, our CPAs at our firm think this could be a couple-week process. Hopefully it's a couple days. The IRS will come out and say, all right, we're ready, go ahead and file. As of right now, though, there's a lot we don't know from the IRS. And so part of it is how quickly will they be able to update their systems. The second thing we don't know is how quickly will tax software be able to be updated. So we obviously use top of the line, top shelf tax software, but even if you're using an online software, you're doing it yourself. I mean, how quickly will you be able to use that tax software to generate a tax return that doesn't have this $10,200 of taxable income? In the notice the IRS sent, they're trying to update things quickly for those of you that want to handwrite it in and send it. But they're also working diligently with software providers to provide the details necessary so that these software providers can update their tax systems. And so this was one of the questions I had for the KFG clients when I sent the email last week, or the video last week. Well, will these tax software providers, do they have to wait for the IRS to update their system before they can update their own? And it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like the IRS is trying to communicate with these software providers so that they can be working on updating their systems concurrently. But a couple weeks, maybe, hopefully less, maybe a little longer. I don't know. The third question is, will states actually tax this money? If you live in a state that has state taxes and a state that actually taxes your unemployment, I know a few of them don't, but for states like Indiana, Michigan, states that are right around here, they tax unemployment. Well, now if, the stimulus plan, the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, that's a federal law. That's a federal law change. Does not change anything with the states. So now states are talking about, well, are we going to omit this, exclude this from state tax, or are we still going to include it? And depending on their answer, if they make a change, they'll have to then update their tax systems, and then they'll have to update tax software as well. And so lots of big changes here and questions on whether states will do it. You might think, well, if the Fed's not going to tax it, the state's not going to tax it either. No, Indiana is actually adding back the $300 universal charitable deduction that everyone's getting this year. And so just because the federal says we're not taxing this, the state could. And then finally, the last thing that I'll list that's a big unknown is, how are they calculating the $150,000 of income, that threshold? The big question to me is the $10,200 of unemployment that's excluded, is that counted towards that $150,000 income limit or not? Right? So are you allowed to have $160,000 of income when you include all your unemployment, and then you back your $10,000 of unemployment out of it that's now excluded, and now you're below the 150 mark, so now you qualify? Or do you not qualify because when you look at all your income, you're above 160? Big questions there. That's going to, tip the scales for millions of people. And we're waiting on the IRS, not just to update their system, but we're waiting on guidance from the IRS as to how they're going to handle that. A connected issue is child tax credits, American Opportunity Credit, for education benefits, earned income credits, retirement savers credit. Lots of credits and benefits are based off of what your adjusted gross income is. So is this $10,200 included in your adjusted gross income but then just not taxed? Or is it not included in your adjusted gross income, therefore you're now eligible for more of these credits, more of these benefits? I don't know. We're waiting on the IRS for that clarity. So there's a lot that we still don't know. There's a couple things we do know, how the rules work, but we're looking for guidance. We're looking for clarity from the IRS. When can we file returns? How are states going to work? How exactly is that income threshold counted? And we're waiting for the IRS on that. So what should you do? Number one, if you've already filed, don't panic. Don't panic. That's probably the biggest question we're getting right now is people that have already filed, I already claimed my unemployment. Now, what do? I got to scramble. I got to do something because I did it wrong. Well, the IRS has officially come out and said, don't amend right now. You can amend. So that's the action item if you've already filed. You can amend. You have up to 3 years to amend. You'll work with your CPA, your tax provider. It'll probably cost you a little bit of money to get it done because there's more work involved, but you will be able to amend and get and take this income off your return and get the refund. So don't panic if you've already filed. You still will get the benefit. In fact, the IRS is saying don't amend right now because our system's not updated to actually process this for you and get you your refund. So that's the first thing. If you already filed, just have the peace of mind. Create yourself a reminder for a month or 2 months or whatever and say, yep, go ahead and amend my return. Okay. If you haven't filed and you've got unemployment income, I would tell you, if everything else equal, then just be patient. Just be patient. Hopefully within the next 2-3 weeks, the IRS comes out and says, yep, go ahead, we've answered all the questions, go ahead and file. And the tax software, whomever you're working with, says, yep, we can file, and you still got a couple weeks left before the tax filing deadline. Go ahead and file and remove that $10,200 of unemployment as taxable income, and you're off to the races. If you've got an enormous refund, or if you're trying to become eligible for the latest stimulus that apparently those checks are going out right now, if there's some other reason saying you've got to file right now and you have unemployment income, go ahead and file then. Just know that you'll amend once the IRS gives guidance on that, all right? So if you've already filed, know that you can amend. If you haven't filed yet, then I would just say be patient, just wait. And if you haven't filed yet, but you need to file quickly, go ahead and include the income and then just know you're gonna amend later and afterwards. And the last thing I would tell you to do is, like all of us, we're waiting to hear from the IRS. We've got a team of people that are constantly looking for updates and changes to the IRS. So I'd say, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe here, tune in to this channel, because we're gonna be giving you those updates as they come out from the IRS. Work with your certified financial planner. Again, if you've already filed, this might be a time to connect with your CFP and say, all right, well, once we're able to amend, what sort of change will this bring? What other adjustments do we need to be aware of? You know, talk to your CFP about how this impacts your specific financial situation. See if there's any adjustments or any awareness you need to have. So if you don't have a CFP on your team, or you need a tax professional to help you figure out these changes, you can feel free to contact my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com, you can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.